So I'm mad at all of these girls right now. It's only like 2 minutes into the episode. Why are they just letting Jen into the clique? They're like, oh, you're one of us now. Why? Because she said she would throw hands on sight if Bloody Rose tries her. And who cares if Noah vouches for her? One, they're not telling the group the truth, which, granted, I also understand because it is no one's business that Noah and Jen are hooking up, but it also is important too because at the end of the day, I do not trust Jen. I definitely feel like now, especially because she's part of a group, that she's definitely involved. I think she just has buyer's remorse, if you want me to be real honest with you. I think her, Christian, who else, I don't know, signed up because at the end of the day, her and Noah do have a past. I don't know if maybe she felt resentful because as soon as she left juvie, Noah was like, bye, girl. And I think she probably wasn't anticipating for Noah to be so sweet and to invite her back into her life. But I definitely think that Jen is involved. And I think either two things are going to happen. Either she's going to get exposed and they're going to have to end her, or she's going to sacrifice herself, most likely for Noah. But let's keep watching. Kelly is a messy hoe. I can't believe this one decided that she was going to go into summer school, basically throw shade at everybody, saying that you messed up your life, but here's some redemption for you. Come to Imogen's house where we're hosting the play. Like, that is so messed up. So Wes is missing. Tabby texted him. He seemed like he was over their beef. But I have this weird feeling if Wes doesn't show up, I feel like Christian kidnapped him and is trying to set him up for this Bloody Rose Water, or at least his part in the Bloody Rose Water shenanigans. So I'm deeply disturbed because I didn't know that hell houses existed. So this series just taught me something new. I know that they said a private LLC rented out the house. It makes me wonder, like, is Bloody Rose like not part of the church but is funding the church in some way? Like, I'm so confused because it seems to me like this person wants to send a message, especially to Imogen, it's running your house, that you can't behave this way, like you can't behave immorally. So it's interesting because I feel like once these girls go to Redemption House, like, and also from the trailer what we see, like it seems like it's more so they created storylines based off of them. So now I'm sus on Johnny on this episode. And for a while, I couldn't get a read on him, but he just said something that was just really weird. When Imogen is breaking it down to him why she's so hurt by Kelly because of all the pain that and all the trauma that's occurred in her home, he like says, I get it. I get what that kind of pain can be. Sir, what is your story? It makes me feel like now I'm wondering if he's a part of this. And like, no offense, but I feel like a lot of people would have, been nice and cordial with Imogen, but I don't think they would have constantly still been there for her because he has witnessed a lot of her emotional freakouts and breakouts. So in my mind, the only thing I could have thought of before this episode was either he's used to dealing with people who are mentally unstable or he's mentally unstable and he's just been like playing it very well. And now this makes me wonder, like you said that you understood that pain, like unless we're gonna hear his story, was Chip like his brother or part of his family, or like how is he connected to this Bloody Rose Waters mess? Because now it makes me feel like, are you getting revenge? Are you trying to avenge somebody? Like, what's going on here? So they're in the Hell House, aka the haunted house, religious haunted house, crazy fanatical religious haunted house. And the first room that they walk into is basically Mouse and what she was doing online. And it's like, who else would know this unless, Miles disclosed that on Spooky Spaghetti, but Ash and her parents. I mean, unless I've missed something since season one, who else would know that? I am so glad my queen, Farron, read her old boyfriend and her soon to be new boyfriend, Greg, and Henry for Phil. Well, now that the Reverend is dead because Bloody Rose just killed him, I don't think it's Mrs. Beasley. I also definitely don't think it's Mrs. Beasley because she definitely did not, have any smoke for Imogen when Imogen busted through her home and read Kelly for filth. And I'm so glad that Imogen confronted little Miss Kelly, aka Karen, about her role in that. And when she told her to pray on that bitch, whew. So Christian just told Tabby, and I quote, "Demons got me thinking, maybe we should make a series of horror movies set in a theater." I feel like a lot of the stuff that he says is foreshadowing, because it makes me wonder if he's creating a horror movie starring Tabby, and the finale is going to take place in the theater. And it was interesting too, because he was listing all the horror movies that have been set in the theater, just like Demons. But what he left out was Scream 2. And granted, it was not set in the theater, but the finale took place in the theater. And Gail and Sydney were two final girls, so it makes me wonder if Imogen and Tabby are going to have to face off on Christian. Maybe that's their final test. Who knows? But if it is the Scream 2 theory, and he's Mickey and he's making his whole horror film, then it probably is Chip's mom, who's Mrs. Loomis, that wants revenge on these girls. So Wes has been missing for far too long. Now Tabby and Christian go into his home. They see it's empty, and they see a whole bunch of masks, and Christian's like, "He's copying me. Why would he copy you?" And now we just open up the laptop, and it has Bloody Rose Waters. It just so happened that his laptop was on Spooky Spaghetti. This is such a setup. And Christian goes, "Oh, did you ever find out who posted your personal information?" "No, she didn't, because it was you, fool." So we're at the Pride party, and Johnny and Christian, they're all buddied up with each other. It makes me wonder, okay, so you guys are in this killer club. Is Jen also in it? Is all the significant others in this killer club now at this point? So Farron mentions Coach Rhodes, but where is he? He hasn't been seen since episode 2? But I did appreciate Greg acknowledging that his role in Redemption House was wrong, and that he finally left Kelly and the church. So now him and Farron are about to get together? Okay, he's an ally. So Noah finally told the girls the truth, that her and Jen have been hooking up. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, well, we can definitely cross her off the list." Stop saying this. I don't know what is going on with them. So Noah wants to be with Jen, knowing that she just robbed Sean's house to pay him back the $2,000. What is wrong with this girl? So Imogen just saw that Bloody Rose Waters was her mother. So Davy has a twin, but why come after Imogen? So then did Davy's twin kill Davy and set it to look like Davy unalived herself when she didn't? I don't know. Please comment down below.